We're talking rookies, we're talking quarterbacks. Let's get to the video. All right, the first guy on my list, and I believe the best quarterback available, I'm gonna say CJ Stroud. I mean, he's got 6'3", 215 pounds. He is the prototypical quarterback in my opinion. He does have that big arm play capability. I mean, he's played with some really good wide receivers, and I'm telling you, he can play in the big games. His offense has always been ticking on all cylinders. He has clean mechanics, especially in the pocket. His throwing motion is very good for the NFL. He has good ball placement, especially on the deep ball, throwing it down the field. That's what we're looking for in the NFL and in fantasy football. And on top of that, he's got that main thing that all the big quarterbacks right now in fantasy has, and that's his mobility. He is mobile. He can run the football. Even though he may not look to run the football all the time, he can do it. CJ Stroud is kind of the complete quarterback for me. I know a lot of people may have Bryce Young as the #1 quarterback, maybe even Will Levis, but I have CJ Stroud. I'm glad he ended up committing to come out and into the draft. There was a little bit of speculation of him staying in college, but he did declare for the NFL draft. I think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks taken in the draft, and no matter where he goes, I think he's going to produce. He may end up with the Texans. That might be a tall order, but with Dameon Pierce, I think CJ Stroud, Dameon Pierce could be amazing together. CJ Stroud is definitely going to be the top quarterback on my list as of right now going into the NFL draft. And the next quarterback we're going to have to go over is going to be Bryce Young. I know Bryce Young, a lot of people have him as #1 on their boards, but I'm telling you, there's just some things that I'm not sold on right now as being better than CJ Stroud. Don't get me wrong, I think Bryce Young will have a successful career in the NFL, but we're thinking about 6 foot, 194. I mean, he's got the Drew Brees height. It might even be a little taller than Drew Brees, but there's just a lot of question marks with that. There's not a lot of quarterbacks who's had a lot of success at that height. He does have good mobility, and he's a very good decision maker. He's got the brains to get it done. He can definitely dissect the defense, and what I like best about him, probably because of Nick Saban, but he has that fourth quarter poise. When you need to have a play, Bryce Young's normally there, and he can do that. So going to a team that may not be as good, maybe even the Colts or something like that, I think Bryce Young could be really good as he develops into a good NFL quarterback. He also has that deep accuracy that we're talking about that I really, really like. If he could throw the ball down the field, he can probably hit his target. That's always going to translate well to the NFL, but we'll have to see how it goes. I know a lot of people have, 1, 2, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, maybe even Will Levis, but I have Bryce Young as of right now as my #2 quarterback, but we'll kind of see where he lands in the draft and see if that changes for me, depending on which team picks him up. Now let's go over to the next quarterback right now I have is Will Levis. This guy, he's kind of rising on my board a little bit. I mean, the more and more tape that I watch of this guy, actually the more that I actually really like about this guy. He looks good to me. 6'3", 222. He's got that NFL quarterback body type. He's got a big arm, which I really, really like. One of my biggest traits that I've seen right now is he's highly competitive. You see when he wants to make a good throw. You see when he makes a bad throw, how disappointed he is and how much he wants to do good. I mean, he went to the University of Kentucky and he played very, very well, especially in SEC football. He did his thing. He's a physical runner, and my biggest thing for him, yes, it may be good for fantasy football, but no, it's not going to be good for the NFL. But he doesn't slide. This dude wants to say, look, I'm coming down. I don't care if I'm a quarterback. I'm going to try to run you over. And that can probably be a downfall, because when he gets to these NFL linebackers, they're going to start laying out this guy, and he's going to learn to slide very, very quickly. But right now, he just likes to be that physical type of runner. He's not afraid to get outside the pocket, pick up some yards for you, which could be fantasy football gold. So we're going to have to see where he lands, what team picks him up, and seeing if that's somebody we want to actually go a little bit higher. But right now, I do have Bryce Young and CJ Stroud above him, not knowing where he's going to land yet as far as everything goes. Speaking of a runner, let's talk about the next guy I have going on right now, and that's going to be Anthony Richardson. This guy, he is what you wouldn't want to call a dual threat quarterback. I mean, he's 6'4", 236, towering quarterback. He's a force. He's somebody that's like, okay, this guy's about to run me over. He's got that Brett Favre mentality as a passer, though. It doesn't matter how tight that window is. He believes he can make that throw. So not only is he a good, gifted runner, but he's also somebody that's not afraid to chunk the ball down the field. He has a big arm, and it doesn't matter if the guy's covered or not. He's going to say, yo, wide receiver, do you have my back or not? Let's find out. I'm throwing it up up there. And again, he's another physical runner. This guy, he likes to lower his shoulder, get the extra yard. Anthony Richardson could be the #1 quarterback, rookie quarterback coming out as far as fantasy football goes this year. I would not be surprised at it. He is a towering 6'4", loves to run the ball, and he's not scared to throw. That's what you want in fantasy football. If he can put it all together, he could be a special fantasy quarterback for us in the future. Now let's go over the last quarterback I have on my list as of right now for our rookies. We're talking about Hendon Hooker. This guy's 6'4", 218 pounds. He's a big, towering kind of guy too. Not as thick, not as bulky. He's got a skinnier kind of frame on him, but he has those clean throwing mechanics. He looks really good when he's out there. Played for the University of Tennessee, has some big wins on his belt. He's got that what I call 3-level accuracy. He can throw the short dinks, he can throw the middle routes, and he can throw it deep. He's also mobile, but he doesn't really look for the running right off the bat, but he can make it happen. He's very poised in the pocket. He goes through his progressions, and he ends up kind of hitting the best target available that he knows. He's very smart. He's got a big brain on his shoulders. I think he's going to be good as far as an NFL quarterback. We have to wait to see how good he's going to be as a fantasy quarterback. As always, thank you for watching the video as we ramp our way up to the NFL draft. If you guys would like to watch my way too early top 30 overall rankings, just click right here. We'll see you guys on the next video.